Leaders duo Pushpakamal Dahal and Baburam Bhattarai, who had parted ways in the aftermath of the promulgation of the Constitution, have intensified efforts to unite again. As the unification campaign between the two respective parties is in its final stage, the time-tested relation between Dahal and Bhattarai over the years has gone through the trails of insurgency, peace process and new constitution and has seen significant upheavals. Good evening, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha and these are the headlines of the hour. Political parties going all out to claim the position of the president seeking roles in the national politics. Analysts say parties have a misgiving that president is a power center. Nepal importing over 300 billion rupees worth of food grains annually. Genuine farmers fail to avail of grant as middlemen thrive. 10 people killed in a mass shooting in California as residents in the predominantly Asian American city were celebrating the Chinese Lunar New Year. And Nepal police confirmed cases of spot fixings were carried out during the recent Nepal T20 League. At least 10 cricketers, including some Nepali cricketers, under the CIB list. Nepal's constitution has only enshrined ceremonial rights to the country's president. Even as the post of the president and its deputy have largely ceremonial roles, the political parties in the country have gone all out to bag these positions in their favor. CPN-UML, a ruling partner, is more or less certain to bag the president's seat as per previous understanding, while Nepali Congress, the largest parliamentary force, has not given up all hopes to get the nod in their favor. As per Article 66 of the Constitution, the President has the role of endorsing the decisions made by the Council of Ministers and the Parliament. The President doesn't have any luxury to take any decisions from outside the Cabinet and the Parliament. However, parties are exercising maximum efforts to launch their candidate as the third President of the country. Even as the parties had managed to oust the 240-year-old monarchy and establish republicanism, they are making the mistake of understanding the president as a power center. Parties are rooting for the position of the president in a bid to seek their roles in the national politics. It is also understood that parties are aiming for the post of the president due to the kind of role adopted by the first president, Ram Baran Yadav, and the incumbent president, Bidya Devi Bhandari. Former President Yadav did not heed to the then government directive of taking action against the then Army Chief Rukman Katwal. President Bhandari is also facing accusations of breaching her ceremonial role. Bhandari endorsed the dissolution of the parliament on 2 occasions, decisions taken by the then Oli-led government, while she also blocked the citizenship bill that was recommended by the parliament. In our Public Voice segment, today we have asked people in several provinces what kind of person do they want as the country's president. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice. राष्ट्रलाई जोगाउन सक्ने र संविधान भित्र रहेर संविधानलाई कार्यान्वयन गर्न सक्ने,
इतिहास बुझेको, यो देशको भूगोल बुझेको,
देश र जनताको हितमा काम गर्ने,
बुद्धिजीवी सर्कलका, बौद्धिक सर्कलका,
महिलालाई पनि अगाडि लिएर जान सक्ने खालको,
निष्पक्ष रूपमा लड्ने खालको राष्ट्रपति भइदिए हे।
पार्टीभन्दा माथि उठेर जनताको हित गर्ने
स्वतन्त्र व्यक्ति भए राम्रो हुन्थ्यो।
संविधान बुझेको, पढेको र संविधानको अक्षर अक्षर पालना गर्न सक्ने।
Leaders duo Pushpakamal Dahal and Baburam Bhattarai, who had parted ways in the aftermath of the promulgation of the Constitution, have intensified efforts to unite again. CPN Maoist Center, led by Pushpakamal Dahal, and Bhattarai-led Nepal Samajwadi Party are in the final stage of unification. Both the parties are working on unification through their respective task force committees, while the relation between Dahal and Bhattarai, tested by insurgency, peace process and new constitution, has seen significant upheaval. Party chairperson Pushpakamal Dahal had bitter words to say about his deputy Baburam Bhattarai when the then vice chairperson Bhattarai quit the party. Dahal said that he had endured Bhattarai for some 25 years, while it was difficult to tolerate the ways of Bhattarai for one single year. Bhattarai also made serious allegations against Dahal, charging the party chairperson of indulging in corruption amounting to billions of rupees. Both the leaders did not relent on their blame games, while the first time the two men had come together was during the political gathering of the then CPN Unified Center in the year 1991. When the Maoists kicked off the armed movement in 1995, both Dahal and Bhattarai were together. However, Bhattarai remained a staunch critic of Dahal as the party took numerous actions against Bhattarai. Following the first Constituent Assembly election in the Dahal-led government, Bhattarai was entrusted with the Finance Ministry, while later, with the support from Dahal, Bhattarai became the Prime Minister in the year 2011. However, differences escalated between the two leaders, and by 2015, when the Constitution was promulgated and Bhattarai left the party. Bhattarai since then has been associated with three parties and now is in the changed political context. He is coming back to Maoist center again. Dissatisfaction within the largest party at the parliament, Nepali Congress, has intensified regarding the party's vote of confidence given to Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal. At a meeting held at a party palace in the capital's Battis Putali by the Shekhar Koirala faction of Nepali Congress, the participating leaders criticized the party leadership for giving the vote of confidence to Premier Dahal. When Nepali Congress decided to give the vote of confidence to the Premier, 5 party leaders, including both the General Secretaries, had written the note of dissent. However, everyone at the House of Representatives voted for Prime Minister Dahal. Party President Sher Bahadur Deuba had decided to give the government the vote of confidence, saying that one of the posts of the Speaker or the President would be given to the party. Leaders of the Koirala faction have been discontent towards the party leadership for losing all the important posts, including the President, Vice President, Prime Minister, Speaker and Deputy Speaker. Discussions were held at today's meeting regarding how the Koirala faction should present itself at the party's Central Committee meeting scheduled for 29th of January. The next meeting of the faction is scheduled for this Tuesday. 60% of Nepal's population is dependent on agriculture. However, the country imports more than 300 billion rupees worth of food grains annually. The government has formulated policy to give grants to farmers of animal husbandry, commercial farming, among others. However, due to the involvement of middlemen, the actual farmers have been deprived of the grants. Minister for Agriculture and Livestock Development, Jwala Kumari Shah, who assumed office last week, has committed to get rid of such irregularities. Chemical fertilizers, improved seeds, among others, are also out of the reach of the farmers along with the grants. Meanwhile, the import of food grains has skyrocketed. Nepal had imported food grains worth more than 300 billion rupees in the last fiscal year. The country had imported rice and vegetables worth 21 billion rupees in the past 6 months alone. The farmers have been facing the problem of taking their produces to the market as well as the problem of storage for years. The Nepal Agricultural Research Council, which has the responsibility of carrying out researches in the agriculture sector of the country, seems to be in a dilapidated condition. As the Nepal Agricultural Research Council has not been able to sustain scientists, researches have not been carried out enough to benefit the farmers. Due to the ongoing disputes between sugarcane farmers and sugar mill owners, farmers have been displaced from sugarcane farming. Sugarcane farming was done in 78,000 hectares of land 5 years ago, while it has been limited to 64,000 hectares now. Nepal had been self-dependent in poultry farming. However, the business is at risk now. The government is hesitating in providing compensations worth 580 million rupees to farmers whose businesses were hit hard due to the bird flu. Although a 10 billion rupee program was announced by the government after the coronavirus pandemic to be self-dependent in agriculture, its implementation has been a far cry. The effects of the coronavirus pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine war has increased the price of food throughout the world. Its effects have also been seen in Nepal, giving the message that the country should be self-dependent in agriculture. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
public polls.
But before that, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you, what should be done to make SAARC active? 22% voted for A, end bitterness. 48% voted for B, improve mutual trust. And 30% voted for C, share nations initiation. Here's today's question. What should be done to make eye treatment easier and more accessible? Your options are A, expanding services to local level, B, more qualified doctors, and C, increase awareness. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. It's time now for the sports news.
Sports news.
Nepal police have reached a conclusion that spot fixings were carried out during the recent Nepal T20 League, a franchise tournament hosted by the Cricket Association of Nepal. Police have now claimed that at least 10 players, including some Nepali players, were involved in spot fixing. A team of the Central Investigation Bureau has said that more investigations are being carried out as some of the players in question are national-level cricketers. Following some intense investigation, the CIB has said that it has collected evidences of spot fixing. According to the CIB, there is proof to nab at least 10 players, including Nepali players. The police have speculated that this number could increase. CIB Chief Uttam Raj Subedi said that the culprits would be arrested within a few days and necessary legal procedures would be undertaken. The CIB is also trying to file case against the foreign players as per existing legal system. Police sources have also claimed the involvement of tournament co-host and Indian company 7-3 Sports in spot fixings. The company owner, Jatin Aluwalia, who was in Nepal at the start of the tournament, had fled to India while the tournament was still in the group stage. The Bureau is investigating the bank accounts of all suspected players and team staff. The tournament had landed into controversy even before it had started, as CAN had handed all commercial and strategic rights to 7-3 Sports, an Indian sports management company, for 330 million rupees. Nepal's boxer Sushma Tamang has stormed into the finals of the ongoing Asian Under-22 Boxing Championship being held in Thailand. This is the first time that a Nepali boxer has reached the finals of the Asian Boxing Championship. Tribhuvan Army Club have kicked off their Tiger Cup volleyball campaign with a win. In the match played at the volleyball court of Pokhara Stadium, the Army team thumped New Diamond in straight sets. New Diamond have reached Pokhara without their ace player Pratibha Mali. New Diamond gave a tough fight in the first set as they lost 27-25. Army won the next two sets 25-17, 25-23. APF take on Gandaki in another women's match tomorrow. Police team are not participating this time due to injury to several players, while Kerala State Electronic Board pulled out of the championship in the last hour. Meanwhile, in the men's category, Tribhuvan Army defeated APF 4-1. And now it's time for the weather update. And that's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.